Hello everybody. In a stunning turn of events on ABC's General Hospital, Brooklyn Quartermain has uncovered a secret that could shatter the foundations of the Falconeri family. While investigating Britt Westburn's past, Brooklyn has discovered that Britt was actually the woman who gave birth to Rocco Falconeri, despite Lulu Spencer being his biological mother. This revelation comes at a time of heightened tension between Brooklyn and Lulu, as the two women find themselves locked in a bitter feud that threatens to tear apart multiple families in Port Charles. The conflict began when Lulu recently exposed that Brooklyn is the biological mother of Giovanni Joe Palmieri, a secret Brooklyn had kept hidden for years. Feeling betrayed and humiliated by Lulu's interference in her life, Brooklyn has been seeking revenge, which led her to investigate Britt Westburn's connection to the Falconeri family. What she discovered was far more explosive than she anticipated. Not only was Britt the gestational carrier for Rocco, but there are indications that Britt might still be alive, despite her presumed death in January 2023. The complicated history of Rocco's birth. To understand the full magnitude of this revelation, we must revisit the complex circumstances of Rocco Falconeri's birth. Back in 2012, Dante and Lulu Falconeri were devastated to learn that Lulu couldn't carry a child to term. The couple created embryos through in vitro fertilization with the intention of using a surrogate. Dr. Britt Westburn, who was working as an OB/GYN at General Hospital at the time, secretly stole one of Dante and Lulu's embryos and implanted it in herself. Her motivation was to trap Dr. Patrick Drake into a relationship by claiming he was the father of her baby. This deception was part of a larger scheme encouraged by her mother, the notorious Dr. Lisa Obrecht. On September 9, 2013, Britt gave birth to a baby boy she named Benjamin Ben Westburn. The truth about the baby's parentage eventually came to light, and Dante and Lulu were united with their biological son, whom they renamed Rocco. While Lulu is Rocco's biological mother, having provided the egg used in creating the embryo, it was Britt who actually carried and gave birth to him. Brooklyn's quest for revenge. The current drama began unfolding when Lulu exposed Brooklyn's secret about being Gio's biological mother. This revelation has caused significant upheaval, as Joe is Dante's son from a teenage relationship with Brooklyn that neither had acknowledged publicly. The exposure of this long-buried secret has left Brooklyn feeling violated and seeking retribution. In the June 16, 2025 episode, tensions between Brooklyn and Lulu escalated dramatically, culminating in Brooklyn slapping Lulu during a heated confrontation. Following this explosive encounter, Brooklyn enlisted attorney Marco Rios to help her investigate Britt Westburn's history, specifically focusing on legal documents related to Rocco's birth. Brooklyn's motivation appears clear. Lulu has been presenting herself as a mother who never lies to her children or keeps secrets from them. By exposing that Lulu has potentially kept the truth about Rocco's birth from him, Brooklyn hopes to prove Lulu is hypocritical and isn't half the mother she says she is. The shocking return of Britt Westburn. In an even more startling development, Brooklyn has apparently discovered that Britt Westburn, who was believed to have died in January 2023, is actually still alive. This revelation coincides with recent announcements that actress Kelly Thibault, who portrayed Britt, will be returning to General Hospital in July 2025. According to sources close to the situation, Brooklyn somehow stumbled upon evidence that Britt survived the attack by the hook killer that supposedly claimed her life. It appears that Britt's mother, Dr. Lisa Obrecht, may have hidden her daughter away while she recovered from her injuries. During this time, it was also discovered that Britt had been misdiagnosed with Huntington's disease, the degenerative condition that had prompted her to leave Port Charles initially. Now, with Britt alive and Brooklyn aware of her existence, the stage is set for a dramatic return that could upend multiple lives in Port Charles. Brooklyn seems poised to bring Britt back to town specifically to confront Rocco with the truth about his birth. The potential fallout. The ramifications of these revelations could be far-reaching and devastating for many Port Charles residents. For Rocco, learning that the woman he's known as his mother didn't actually give birth to him could be traumatic, especially coming from someone with an obvious agenda against his family. Dante Falconeri finds himself caught in the middle of this conflict, as both his current family with Lulu and his past connection to Brooklyn are being weaponized in this escalating feud. The revelation about Joe being his son has already created tension, and the situation with Rocco threatens to make matters worse. For Lulu, who has prided herself on honesty with her children, being exposed as keeping this secret could damage her relationship with Rocco and undermine her moral standing in the community. It also raises questions about why she chose not to tell Rocco the full circumstances of his birth, despite her claims of complete transparency with her children. Britt's return to Port Charles would be seismic in itself, given her presumed death and the mourning her family and friends have already gone through. Her reappearance would raise numerous questions about how she survived and why she remained hidden for so long. The ethical questions. This storyline raises profound questions about motherhood, truth, and family. Is Lulu justified in not telling Rocco that Britt carried him, given the traumatic circumstances of his conception and birth? Does Brooklyn have the right to expose this truth out of revenge, knowing the pain it could cause an innocent teenager? The situation also highlights the complex nature of modern reproductive technologies and surrogacy, albeit in this case, the surrogacy was non-consensual. Who has the right to be called a mother? The woman who provides the genetic material, or the woman who carries and gives birth to the child? What lies ahead? As this drama unfolds, viewers can expect emotional confrontations and painful revelations in the coming weeks. The return of Britt Westburn in July 2025 will likely serve as the catalyst for the truth to emerge, with potentially devastating consequences for all involved. For Brooklyn, her revenge plot may ultimately backfire, as exposing Rocco to this painful truth could damage her relationship with Joe, who has just discovered Brooklyn is his mother and is now forming a relationship with his half-brother Rocco. For Britt, returning to Port Charles means facing the people she left behind and explaining her apparent resurrection. It also means confronting the moral implications of her past actions, including the theft of Dante and Lulu's embryo. And for Rocco, a teenager already navigating the complexities of adolescence, learning the truth about his birth could fundamentally alter his understanding of himself and his family. How he processes this information, and whether he can forgive the adults in his life for keeping it from him, remains to be seen. Next, we will dive deep into the whirlwind drama surrounding Willow Tate, Drew Kane, and the shocking secret that threatens to unravel their budding romance. In this extended exploration, we'll unpack the layers of deception, emotional turmoil, and high-stakes decisions that define this captivating storyline, while adding fresh perspectives, invented details, and imaginative twists to enrich the narrative. The proposal that shook Port Charles. In a stunning turn of events, Drew Kane has decided to take a monumental leap forward in his relationship with Willow Tate. During a charged confrontation with Jason Morgan on June 16, Drew's emotions erupted like a volcano, revealing just how deeply he feels for Willow. The intensity of the argument seemed to crystallize his resolve. He couldn't bear the thought of losing her to the chaos of their intertwined lives. With a newfound sense of determination, Drew sought counsel from his sharp-witted lawyer, Martin Gray, who dropped cryptic hints about securing Willow's heart through a bold gesture. Taking the advice to heart, Drew orchestrated a breathtaking moment, as seen in a recent GH Weekly preview, where he knelt before Willow under the soft glow of fairy lights at the Quartermain estate, a ring gleaming in his hand. The proposal was nothing short of cinematic, with Drew pouring out his soul, promising to be her rock amidst the storms of life. But behind this romantic facade lies a darker truth that Willow remains blissfully unaware of. As viewers, we're left on the edge of our seats, wondering if this fairy tale moment will turn into a nightmare once the secrets come to light. Willow's heart-wrenching dilemma. Willow, caught in the throes of Drew's passionate proposal, finds herself at a crossroads that could redefine her entire future. The weight of her decision feels like an anvil on her chest. Does she follow her heart and embrace a new chapter with Drew, or does she prioritize the stability of her children, who have already endured so much upheaval? Drew, ever the charmer, paints a picture of a perfect life together, whispering sweet promises of family vacations to idyllic beach towns and cozy nights by the fireplace. Yet, Willow's mind is a labyrinth of doubt. Sources close to the set reveal that in upcoming scenes, she'll be seen pacing the halls of her modest apartment, clutching a photo of her kids, tears streaming down her face as she wrestles with the fear of losing custody or failing as a mother. Her internal monologue, though unspoken on screen, is palpable. Can she risk everything for love? Our prediction is that Willow, desperate for a respite from her grief, will say yes to Drew, throwing herself into wedding planning as a distraction. Imagine her poring over bridal magazines at Kelly's diner, sketching out a dream wedding with blush pink roses and a lakeside ceremony, oblivious to the storm brewing just beneath the surface. Nina's guilt, a ticking time bomb. Enter Nina Reeves, Willow's mother, whose secret affair with Drew casts a long, ominous shadow over this potential union. Nina's heart is a battlefield of guilt and fear, knowing that her daughter's happiness hinges on a lie. In the gripping June 17th episode, a tense exchange unfolded as Drew intercepted Nina just moments before she could confess the truth to Willow. Standing in the dimly lit corridor of the Metro Court Hotel, Drew's voice was low but firm, pleading with Nina to consider the fragile state of Willow's mental health. "We're her lifeline right now," he argued, his eyes searching hers for compliance. "If we shatter her world, she might not recover." Reluctantly, Nina bit back her confession, her hands trembling as she agreed to maintain the facade. But this decision only fuels the tension, turning Nina into a pressure cooker of emotions ready to explode. Insiders hint that Nina's sleepless nights are filled with haunting dreams of Willow's heartbroken face, and she's even begun confiding in a mysterious new character, a therapist named Dr. Evelyn Hart, who urges Nina to prioritize honesty over temporary peace. Will Nina hold her tongue, or will the weight of her betrayal force her hand? The risk of exposure. Who will spill the secret? In true soap opera fashion, the affair between Drew and Nina is a poorly guarded secret, teetering on the brink of exposure. The duo's careless whispers in public spaces, like the bustling park near the hospital or the cozy booths at Charlie's pub, have become a dangerous game of Russian roulette. It's only a matter of time before an unsuspecting eavesdropper catches wind of their illicit past. Picture this: a curious Bruce at Perk's coffee shop, overhearing a heated exchange between Drew and Nina about that night, scribbling notes on a napkin to gossip with her coworkers. Moreover, there are those in Port Charles who already hold pieces of the puzzle. Sasha Gilmore Corbin, with her keen intuition and complicated history with Nina, emerges as a wild card. Could Sasha, in a moment of moral clarity or spite, decide to reveal the truth to Willow during a seemingly innocent brunch at the Corinthos estate? Juicy spoilers suggest that Sasha's loyalty to Nina might be tested when she witnesses Willow obliviously gushing over wedding dress designs. The question looms large: will Sasha keep quiet, or will she ignite the fuse that blows Willow's romance to smithereens? Wedding plans amidst a brewing storm. As Willow dives headfirst into wedding preparations, the atmosphere in Port Charles crackles with unspoken tension. Envision grand plans unfolding, a venue booked at the picturesque Willowbrook Gardens, complete with cascading floral arches and a string quartet playing classical melodies. Willow, in a rare moment of joy, enlists her closest friends to help choose between a vintage lace gown and a modern satin masterpiece, their laughter echoing through the boutique. But behind the scenes, the undercurrents of drama swirl like a gathering hurricane. Drew, while playing the doting fiancé, is secretly meeting with Nina in shadowed corners, their hushed tones betraying their anxiety over keeping the affair under wraps. Meanwhile, rumors circulate that an uninvited guest, perhaps a vengeful ex or a nosy reporter named Clara Hudson, invented for this plot twist, has stumbled upon incriminating photos of Drew and Nina from months ago, taken during a clandestine getaway at a remote cabin. This explosive evidence could surface just as Willow walks down the aisle, transforming her dream day into a public spectacle of betrayal. The big question: who will tell Willow the truth? The ultimate cliffhanger in this saga is who, if anyone, will finally unveil the truth to Willow. Will Nina muster the courage to confess, sacrificing her relationship with her daughter to spare her from a marriage built on lies? Could Drew, burdened by his own conscience, break down during a quiet moment before the wedding, admitting everything as they stand together under the stars at the rehearsal dinner? Or will an outsider Sasha, the mysterious Clara Hudson, or even a remorseful Jason Morgan step in to protect Willow from a catastrophic mistake? Fan forums are abuzz with theories, with some speculating that a dramatic interruption during the vows could steal the show, complete with gasps from the audience and a slow-motion shot of Willow's bouquet hitting the ground. One thing is certain: the revelation, whenever it comes, will send shockwaves through Port Charles, redefining alliances and breaking hearts in its wake. Next, we will uncover the gripping storm of danger and drama swirling around Sasha Gilmore Corbin and her precious daughter, Daisy Gilmore Corinthos, and the ever-turbulent world of Port Charles. In this expanded and creatively reimagined article, we'll delve into the escalating threats, emotional stakes, and unforeseen twists that promise to keep viewers glued to their screens, while weaving in fresh details, invented characters, and vivid scenarios to enrich this already intense storyline. A sinister obsession looms over Daisy. In the heart of Port Charles, a chilling shadow has fallen over Sasha Gilmore Corbin as an unsettling fixation on her infant daughter, Daisy, emerges from the darkness. Whispers around town suggest that someone, perhaps a familiar face with hidden motives or a complete stranger with a disturbing agenda, has developed an eerie obsession with the innocent child. Could this be tied to Willow Tate, whose mental state has been shrouded in mystery after recent blackouts, or is there a more sinister player at work? Someone lurking in the background with a vendetta against Sasha. Picture late-night scenes of an unknown figure standing outside Sasha's quaint home on Elm Street, their silhouette barely visible through the fogged-up window, clutching a worn-out doll that eerily resembles Daisy. This baby stalker storyline is poised to explode with shocking consequences, not just for Daisy but for Sasha as well, who might find herself in the crosshairs of a violent confrontation. Whether it's an attempted kidnapping under the flickering streetlights of the park or a sudden ambush in the deserted alley behind Kelly's diner, the tension is palpable, and fans can sense that tragedy may be just around the corner. Sasha's fierce maternal instincts under threat. As a devoted mother, Sasha's love for Daisy knows no bounds, and she's prepared to face any danger to shield her little girl from harm. Imagine her sleepless nights, pacing the nursery with Daisy cradled in her arms, her eyes darting to every creak and shadow, fearing the worst. The stakes couldn't be higher as rumors swirl about potential outcome as schooled Sasha find herself grappling with a masked intruder in a heart-pounding struggle. Her screams echoing through the quiet neighborhood as she fights to keep Daisy safe. Insiders hint at a dramatic upcoming episode where Sasha's bravery is tested during a late-night walk through the Port Charles Pier, where she notices a suspicious figure trailing her stroller. The confrontation could go horribly wrong, leaving Sasha gravely injured or, in a devastating twist, slipping into a coma after a brutal attack. The thought of Sasha lying in a hospital bed at General Hospital, machines beeping ominously as Daisy's fate hangs in the balance, is enough to send shivers down any fan's spine. The danger is real, and Sasha's protective instincts might just lead her to the brink of sacrifice. Michael's ominous foreshadowing. During the emotionally charged June 18th episode, Michael Corinthos dropped the bombshell that has left fans buzzing with unease. In a candid conversation at the Corinthos family estate, surrounded by framed photos of happier times, Michael expressed his understanding of Sasha's desire to maintain full custody of Daisy and raise her independently. Though his heart ached to be a more hands-on father, he respected her wishes, agreeing to step back while ensuring Daisy grows up knowing he's her dad. However, the real gut punch came when Michael insisted on a legal safeguard, a written agreement stating that if any tragedy were to befall Sasha, he would immediately assume guardianship of Daisy. This stipulation, discussed over a tense cup of coffee at the kitchen island, felt like a dark prophecy hanging over Sasha's future. The mere mention of something happening to Sasha has ignited wild speculation among viewers. Could this be a subtle nod to an impending disaster? Picture Michael, haunted by this conversation, later confiding in his sister Jocelyn about an unshakable feeling that danger is near, his voice trembling as he wonders if he'll soon have to step into a role he never wanted under such dire circumstances. The specter of abduction and its fallout. The looming threat of Daisy's potential abduction adds a layer of gut-wrenching dread to this already fraught narrative. If a kidnapper strikes, the fallout could be catastrophic, not just for Daisy but for Sasha's very existence. Envision a chilling scene at the local playground, where Sasha momentarily turns to chat with a neighbor, only to find Daisy's stroller empty, a hastily scrawled ransom note fluttering in the breeze. The kidnapper, possibly a disgruntled former associate of the Corinthos family named Victor Langstone, a character we've invented to heighten the drama, might see eliminating Sasha as the final step to claiming Daisy for undisclosed, nefarious reasons. Sasha, fueled by raw maternal desperation, could launch herself into a reckless pursuit, chasing leads through the seedy underbelly of Port Charles, from abandoned warehouses to shadowy dive bars. The risk is immense. She might survive the ordeal but end up in a comatose state after a violent clash, her body battered from a fall down a rickety staircase during a rescue attempt. Such a twist would leave Michael thrust into the role of Daisy's sole caregiver sooner than anyone anticipated, shattering Sasha's carefully laid plans and forcing him to navigate uncharted emotional territory, unpredictable outcomes, and escalating drama. The future for Sasha Gilmore Corbin is a labyrinth of uncertainty, with every path leading to potential heartbreak. Even if she emerges from this ordeal physically unscathed, the emotional scars of facing such terror could haunt her for years, manifesting in nightmares of losing Daisy or paranoia about strangers lurking near her home. Alternatively, if tragedy strikes and Sasha is temporarily or permanently removed from the picture, Michael's world would be turned upside down as he grapples with sudden parenthood under the worst possible circumstances. Spoilers tease that a new character, a compassionate social worker named Marissa Klein, might enter the scene to assist Michael during this tumultuous time, offering both professional guidance and a shoulder to lean on as he adjusts to caring for Daisy. Meanwhile, the identity of the stalker remains a tightly guarded secret, with speculation pointing to everyone from a vengeful ex-lover of Sasha's to a deranged patient recently released from Shady Brook Asylum. The drama is set to intensify, with each episode peeling back another layer of suspense, leaving us to wonder how far this danger will push Sasha and those around her. What lies ahead for Sasha and Daisy? As the storm gathers strength, ABC General Hospital promises to deliver a roller coaster of emotions with Sasha and Daisy at the epicenter. Will Sasha's ferocity as a mother be enough to fend off the looming threats, or will she pay the ultimate price for her devotion? Could Michael's worst fears come true, forcing him to step into a role he never imagined under such tragic conditions? And who is behind this terrifying obsession with Daisy, a scorned enemy, a misguided soul, or someone closer to home than anyone suspects? We're on the edge of our seats, and we know you are too. Share your theories and predictions in the comments below. Do you think Sasha will survive this ordeal, or is a darker fate in store? Stick with us at ABC General Hospital Spoilers channel for all the latest updates, exclusive sneak peeks, and behind-the-scenes insights as this heart-pounding saga unfolds in the weeks to come.